Guess who's back? Back again. Mikey's back. Tell a friend. Hey everybody, here with another video for you guys today. And today we're going to be creating some lore for my Lego castle display. But before we go any further, let me just say, if you like this video or any of the videos on the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. And let's see what kind of lore and stories we can come up with after the intro coming in here now. Well, I'm going to start this video by saying that the inspiration that I used to draw the lore from in this video, you will see from classic lore and literature, whether it's King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table, Robin Hood. You will even hear some things that are based from history, whether we're talking about the Knights Templar or the Teutonic Knights. And then also on top of that, we'll be, of course, using as much of the proper Lego lore as possible. I put my own spin on it, as well as Dungeons & Dragons official lore. But one thing you will not be finding is Lord of the Rings lore or Harry Potter lore, and that is specifically because we have areas we can use for those. And we're going to start with the Crusaders, and this has evolved over time. It was also known as the Royal Knights and includes any and all Red Lion type Lego factions, but I am going with the Crusaders as the official name. On this tapestry you can see the original yellow castle, and that is because this is the Kingdom of Camelot, and as far as my lore goes, it all grew out of that original castle, and just the area has prospered since then. So this is the original Lego castle kingdom, if you will, and there's Camelot Castle there in the background. And again, this grew out of the original yellow castle, and just everything evolved and grew over time as the area prospered. And this is how it looks now at the age of King Arthur under the rule of Camelot Castle. And then outside of the castle you can see Camelot Market there a little bit. Camelot Castle rules over the village of Camelot and the village of Nottingham, and whoever is the king or queen of Camelot Castle is considered to be the most wealthy and powerful individual in all of the known kingdoms. And the Knights of the Round Table make home in Camelot Castle, and here all of them are, and they are of course led by King Arthur. And here he is, and he has his Excalibur sword, which he pulled from the Sword in the Stone, which gave him the right to rule all of Camelot. And it is the most powerful sword in all the known land as well. And next to him is the wizard Merlin, and he is riding a lion, and he is one of the most powerful wizards in the known world as well. And here is Sir Hector, and next to that is Lancelot, famous knight of the Knights of the Round Table. And there's Sir Kay back there. And then in the very back is Percival there right now. And here's a look at just a little bit of their army. And here's the actual round table, and sitting at the head of it is Prince John right now, the king's younger brother. And there is Queen Guinevere, the mythical round table. And then on the other side of the castle is this fortress, which is controlled and operated under the Crusaders as well, but it is a smaller faction led by Joan of Arc, and they are the Knights Templar, and they are the Pink Crown faction of lore, and they are loyal to whoever is in control of Camelot. They have never-ending loyalty to that person, and that is, of course, King Arthur as of now. And here they are controlling their fortress. And Joan of Arc is the leader of the Crusaders, famous knight in history. On the far side of Camelot Castle lies the interfactionary police force. They make their home in Nottingham Village, and they are jobbed with keeping the peace throughout all the different factions, but they are also part of the Crusaders faction loyal to the king. And next up we have the Lion Knights faction, and this is their castle, and they are led by a king who is a cousin to King Arthur, and so they are friendly to the Crusaders, hence why they have similar, lions. They are all of the same bloodline, if you will. And much like the Crusaders, they are a good faction, very honorable, loyal, and always trying to serve the best interests of the people as much as possible. And here is King George, the leader of the Lion Knights here. And there he is on his mounted steed. And he also has a wizard in tow on a lion. And here is the rest of his mounted force. They are strong military as well, very, very well on mounted horseback, and always ready to defend the kingdom if necessary. While they are related to the Crusaders, they like to keep their independence. And here is the Blue Tower Keep, where King George sits upon his throne, and it is a famous tower all throughout the land, the Blue Tower Keep of the Lion Knights Castle. And here is the Queen and their son, the Prince, and as well as their princess daughter over here up in her tower as well. So there is a look at the Blue Lion Knights, another great faction here in my LEGO Castle world. And next up we have the Red Dragons, and this encompasses the Dragon Masters as well, basically any kind of evil dragon, red dragon type theme. And here they are, and they are definitely an evil, conniving, and troublesome force throughout my LEGO Castle kingdoms. And you can see their dragons right there out in front, and they actually make home at Black Monarch's castle. And here is their dragons perched out, ready to attack. These are not a force to be taken lightly. They're definitely one of the most powerful in all of the kingdoms, and they are led by the Dragon Master. He is one of the descendants of the lost Dragon Master clans, and he has the ability to ride the dragons. That's what makes them Dragon Masters. You get a look on the inside of Black Monarch's castle. And there is the Red Queen, and she is a descendant of Dragon Masters as well. And here is the evil dragon wizard, and he has the ability to control and ride a dragon. He rides this black dragon here, so being able to ride dragons is a very unique skill in my LEGO Castle Kingdom. And they have this big black dragon as well as this red dragon. So the red dragons are dangerous in the skies, but they are also dangerous on land and have one of the most terrifying mounted forces in all of the kingdoms. Hordak is the leader of their mounted force here, and he is a ferocious battler, a very, very dangerous knight to encounter in battle, and he is kind of undead as well. So there is a look at the evil Red Dragons faction. Definitely a dangerous group to run into in my LEGO Castle Kingdoms. And next up, we have the Black Falcons. And the Black Falcons are one of the more powerful factions in all of the kingdoms, and they actually have two fortresses that make up their kingdoms. As you can see, they have Black Knight's Castle as well as Black Falcon's Fortress, and they also have one of the bigger militaries in all of the lands. And they are led by the Black Knight. He is the strongest, best fighting knight in all of the kingdoms. He has never lost in battle. And he has one of the most powerful and well-known swords in all of the lands. Just look at how dangerous and strong his sword is. And this minifigure originated from this set originally, and he was considered part of the Black Falcons, but they made him like a Black Knight, and so that's kind of the lore I went with for him. And here is Falcone, and he is the leader of the Red Falcons. And as the Black Knights disbanded and the Black Knight went out on his own, he met Falcone at his fortress here and fell in love with his daughter. And so the Black Knight married the Red Falcon's daughter, and that is how the Black Falcons came into be. As you get a look at the Red Falcons, and there is Falcone's daughter and the wife of the Black Knight, and this is all how the Black Falcons faction came into be in my Lego world. And there is their daughter there. And they also have a wizard that is able to control all the falcons. That's his magical ability, is to control all the different kinds of falcons and use them to do whatever they need to be done, deliver messages or attack. And here is Hawk. He is the general of the Black Falcons army. He's great commander. There he is on his mounted steed patrolling around. And here is the rest of their mounted force. When the Black Knight married into the Red Falcons family and created the Black Falcons military, they became a powerhouse known as the Black Falcons all throughout the Lego kingdoms. And next up we have the Wolfpack faction. And they are renegades, and this is their tower, Wolfpack Tower. It is on the far edge of the village of Nottingham, and here it is. It sits in water, and it is their fortress where they conduct all of their shady activities. The Wolfpack are definitely scoundrels. They will beat up on the innocent and rob people, and there's their leader, and he rides this three-tailed wolf, this mystical wolf creature, and that's what gives the Wolfpack their name. He is the Wolfpack leader. You can always see Wolfpack renegades all over the village of Nottingham. They have a big presence there. And there is the Brown Wolf Inn, and they do a lot of shady business activities and meetings there as well. It's known for lots of nefarious activities all throughout the village of Nottingham. The Brown Wolf Tavern, and there he is inside. You can always find a Wolfpack member there. So there's the Wolfpack faction. And next up we have my personal favorite, the Forestmen. On the other side of Nottingham Village lies the legendary forest known as Sherwood Forest. A lot of people enter it, and some of them end up leaving with far less riches than they entered with it, because it is known as a place where these forest men rob from the rich and give to the poor, and they are led by none other than the famous Robin Hood, and he is one of the most sought after criminals of all the land. And there he is, and he rides his stag, and that's where they get their deer emblem from. And there's his wife, Maid Marian, and she rides on her stag as well. And Robin Hood and Maid Marian are the leaders of the Forestmen faction as they rob from the rich and give to the poor. And there is Little John there and Will Scarlet. But they also have their own honest lumber business as they chop down trees and deliver lumber and other goods all throughout the lands. So they are on the up and up as well. They are a good faction. They rob from bad guys or from those that can afford to lose a little bit here and there. So there's a little look at the Forestmen faction. And next up we have the Green Dragon Knights. And these guys are kind of like chaotic neutral. They can be good, they can be evil, as we get a look at their castle on the far edge of Sherwood Forest lies the Green Dragons. And it is a very nice and towering castle. And they have the Green Knight as the leader of their knights, and he is a legendary figure, and he is undefeated in battle as well. Some say he might be the most powerful knight in all of the land. And there is the Green Dragon, and their Green Wizard can also ride on dragons, so that is another rare skill possessed by them. And there is Prince Barrel. He is the son of the Green Queen, and he leads all of the Green Dragon Knights army. All the soldiers follow the command of Prince Barrel and do whatever he tells them. And here is the Green Queen, and she is also a descendant of the Dragon Masters and is sister to the Red Queen. And there is their castle here, the Green Dragon Knights. Definitely not a faction to take lightly with their use of dragons, and who knows, there might be a new Green Dragon in the future. And next up we have the Dragonborn faction. And this faction is at this time homeless. They do not have a place to call their own, but they do worship the legendary dragon known as Tiamat. They view Tiamat as their deity and hope to bring Tiamat back to this plane of existence. But they are all dragon-born creatures. They are not quite human. And they are all loyal to the legendary dragon Tiamat, all different makeups, green, red, gold, doesn't matter, you are all dragonborns. And so they are a very strong military, lot of knights and paladins. They have archers, all kinds of different things. So even though they don't have a place to call their own yet, maybe they will eventually earn their own kingdom as well here in the Lego Castle world. But there is the Dragonborn faction. Next up, we have the Clubs faction, or sometimes I refer to as the Blue Clubs. And these I kind of basing on the Teutonic Knights of history. And they are also somewhat loyal to King Arthur, but they are their own separate faction. But they do take a seat at the round table every now and again, but they are also without a home as of now, and you can find them wandering the streets of Camelot Village here and there, and they also like to compete in jousting tournaments. But they are a good faction, as we see their mages and wise men and everything, so they are a good faction as well, the Clubs. And next up we have the Black Knights, or what's left of the Black Knights faction. After the Black Knight started the Black Falcons faction, what was left of the former Black Knights faction was left out on their own. And so now here they are, and they are still trying to come to grips with what the Black Knight did. They dare not challenge him in battle or the Black Falcons. Their numbers are just far too small. So they spent a lot of time just roaming around Camelot as well. Still, they're not quite sure why they didn't want to join the Black Falcons, other than they are just loyal to their original Black Knights roots. So there they are, roaming the whole countryside without a home, just knights on the road, and maybe one day they will find their own place, but as of now, they are just nomads known as the Black Knights faction. And next up, we have the Green Chevron Knights faction. And this faction also came out of the roots of the Green Dragon Knights faction, just like the Black Knights did. And they also went solo out on their own, decided to walk away from the dragon heritage because of the negative connotation that being associated to dragons can bring. But they are also a chaotic, neutral kind of faction, and they are also without a home, and so you can find them out wandering around different places. They like to partake in jousting tournaments. They have a couple of squires in tow as well, and they are all in all a very tough faction. If you do run into them, they don't take any monkey business, and they are very fierce warriors. So the Green Chevron Knights faction. And you'll notice I didn't mention the Fright Knights faction, and that's because they are to be continued, so stay tuned to hear more about the Fright Knights. Well, that is my video for you guys today. Thanks everybody for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know if you like this kind of lore videos and I can do more stuff like this. But thanks everyone for watching. See you in the next one, and take care everybody.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, we got merch store. If you want to take a little piece of the show with you, you can get it right here. We got everything. You want some Mikey J stuff? We got the Mikey J Productions for you. So take a chance and stop by. We'll take care of you.